Hello and welcome to the Walk Off, everybody. I'm Scott Belford, joined by our interim co-host Joel LaFlamme. Hey, call me on TikTok, buddy. I figured that we better lay down a video here because some interesting stuff just came out. John Morosi of MLB mentioned that the Toronto Blue Jays are one of the teams interested in second and third baseman, plays a little first with the Colorado Rockies, Ryan McMahon. And McMahon having a great season. This is a talented guy, 29 years old, positional versatility, has some pop. Of course, you do need to put that little asterisk next to any Rocky when it comes to home run totals, but he is at 10 currently. Left-handed guy, lefty bat, gives you pop from that side that we just don't have in this lineup. Interesting to hear that they're interested in buying, though. What was your
Yes.
what was your initial reaction to even just hearing that this is something that the Blue Jays are looking at?
I guess a couple wins over the White Sox can create some enthusiasm. But it's interesting. We saw him firsthand come into Toronto earlier this year and actually really kind of give us a licking. He was pretty
Mm-hmm.
impressive to watch, hitting home runs, really impressive at the plate. This year, it seems like he has taken a shift. If you look at statistically over the course of his career, he's about a 740, 750 OPS guy. This year, he's up in the 850s. Power, average, all have kind of gone up this year. And like you said, you always have to look at Colorado guys and kind of wonder. But, at the same time, the humidor is in full effect there. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not as much of an effect. But when you get that taste of a player who comes into your ballpark out of Colorado and you're impressed in that situation, then I think that's probably where all this started, to be completely honest, was when Colorado swooped in and we actually got to see what 2024 Ryan McMahon looks like, and he's pretty impressive this year.
I couldn't agree more. Almost at a 2 WAR already on the season. This is a guy who's hitting 286 on the year. That's up 40 points on his career batting average. And just something to keep in mind, too. Offense is down this season. So when you watch a guy take a step up like this from his career norms, but then also in a year where offense is down, you got to give a few extra points even. I mean, in a different year, he might even be pushing 300 as his batting average. A guy who has some power, 10 dingers, and is under control. And this is an interesting little tidbit: under control until 2027. Now, I could be looking too far into this, but does this signify the fact that it is very likely, with these rumors coming out, that this Toronto Blue Jays organization isn't into a rebuild, isn't into a sellout, if this isn't going to if this season isn't going to produce the fruits that we were all hoping it would, which is at least a playoff spot. And in all honesty, I think most of us have the expectations of this team going deeper than a wild card series.
Absolutely, and I feel like even Shapiro and Atkins have put, well, especially Shapiro's put all this effort into building the stadium up to be the best possible fan experience that you could have beyond the baseball, and they would like that to coincide with a winning club,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't want to build this upgraded stadium and then be out of the playoffs for half a decade, so that doesn't really, you did all these renovations, but you're not really getting to maximize them if you're not bringing playoff games into town. So yeah, they definitely want to win. It would be really ironic if they found themselves in a similar situation to Anthopoulos and ended up just pushing all of their chips in to go for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're running out of time. Either you're gone or you go for it at this point, right? So it's either their jobs or or just make some moves. Go for it. Try to win right here and now. Because if we're not winners at the end of this year, their jobs are Well, they should have been gone last year, but they're definitely gone this year if they're not in the
They are
play.
on the hot seat. There is no
Yeah.
doubt about it. They are definitely on the hot seat. Ross Atkins in particular, and maybe we are seeing a Alex Anthopoulos push your chips in last ditch effort to save your job type of thing, very similar to what we saw in 2015. Now, that Anthopoulos team, we're all well aware, was under 500 coming into the deadline, 50-51. I wonder if this attempt to bolster a lineup with Ryan McMahon, what the fallout from this will be for guys like Davis Schneider. Now, Schneider plays a lot of second base. He's getting a lot of reps in left field, but with Ryan McMahon coming in and being primarily second and third base, who is taking the lumps when it comes to playing time? Is this Danny Burgers? Is this the end of Vogelbach? Are we going to watch Kevin Biggio be relegated to primarily only a bench piece? Someone other than Davis Schneider needs to get less playing time, in my opinion, if this is for real.
Yeah, and something has to be returned when it comes to middle infielders, right? Like if you're making that trade, hopefully like a Cavan or an IKF or something is going back
Mm-hmm.
that is one of those positions that we have so many of, it seems like on this team, with Ernie Clement and Bo and Schneider and IKF and Biggio. They all are kind of, middle infielders. So to go out and target another one, you better get rid of some of the middle level infielders so that you can actually build up that spot. Definitely don't move Davis Schneider. Not ever saying that, but you've got to create some space for this player. Vogelbach is all of Vogelbach's time would instantly be consumed by McMahon,
Yeah.
right? And that's not much. That's like 5 at-bats a week, right? Like if that.
Yeah,
So
someone else is
whatever.
also going to feel this. Absolutely. And you know what? There is some redundancy there, even down in Buffalo, right? Some of these guys that are knocking at the door, Addison Barger, right? Second base, third base, right field. I mean,
Spencer.
even Aroldis Martinez, despite his lack of defensive prowess, is primarily a second baseman. So interesting that this is the guy they're targeting. We'll leave it at that, but please, everyone in the comments, let us know. What do you think the Blue Jays are up to here? Is this desperation? Is this calculated moving your chips in? Is this a general manager on a hot seat and doing whatever he can to keep his job?
And can we trust anything that John Paul Morosi has to say? He's probably
Great
on the plane
question.
right now.
Great question. Ryan McMahon on a plane coming to Toronto. Joel, thank you for taking the time, my friend. All of you, the grounds crew members, appreciate you. And again, drop your comments. We'll hit this up in mailbag and see where we're at. Cheers.